So, Villa, Monday night at home. It's going to be an interesting one. They're very near us in the table now, which is quite nice because they're in the top 10 as well. So, we're not facing the team in the relegation zone and going, oh, we need to beat them to try and stay safe, etc. So, times are good at the minute. West Ham, we've come out of that dreaded 6-game drought of top 8 clubs, and in my opinion, we more or less sailed through it. We, got the draws we needed. We lost a couple of games where we probably should have got more out of, and we won the games I didn't think we would expect to win. And for me, the biggest telling thing was beating Fulham and Sheffield United, because we do not beat those teams, especially after coming off games against the likes of Man City and Liverpool, and to win 1-0. Professional job. Yeah, Cody got a bit lucky against Fulham because they missed the penalty, but he still missed it. And technically, we've still got the win. So, we've got to take these things as they are. If that happens to another club, they don't say anything, they take the win. That's what we've got to start doing. And against Sheffield United, they didn't really have a chance, apart from their good header, which Fabianski saved and hitting the crossbar. But then we also hit the crossbar, as we keep doing, and it's getting more and more annoying. But at least we're winning, so it's not really that, doesn't cancel out any points for us. And at the moment, I think David Moyes is building a steady squad. He's building a team that is cohesive, confident, know their jobs. And for me, people have criticised him, in the team, but Sebastian Haller is doing the best he can with what he's got. He's never played that target man role. He's never done it. And he's always been a player that's helped set other players up, fundamentally, at least at Frankfurt. I think when people watch him, when he plays behind the striker, he actually does win a lot of headers and he does set a lot of people up. And his goal against Sheffield United was fantastic, just the way he's leathered it. There's a lot of frustration, I think, come out in that kick. And he got the points for us. So our striker, that everyone's criticised, a lot of fans criticised, he's done the job. And I'm not bothered about this, he doesn't smile. So what, he doesn't smile? He's not paid to smile, he's paid to do the job he's doing. He's a target man. He scored the goal to win us the game in the last game. And for me, he's doing a fantastic job. And, Antonio was doing so well, it's hard to fill those boots. And I don't want Antonio on that subject being brought in too quickly. I want us to use him in a clever manner. We don't want to rush him back. Haller is just getting his confidence back up. He's playing for the Ivory Coast. He's doing well in that regard. So the worst thing we can do now is just shove Antonio back in. It would also be disrespectful to Haller after what he's produced. It's been the last game. So fair play to him. I hope he carries it on. We've also got lots of Ben Rama on the bench, and there's every single Facebook and Twitter post goes about that the Algerian fans are desperate to see him play, which is fair enough. He's one of their top stars. But the thing that you've got to remember is that what a lot of people remember is that we had this when Javier Hernandez was playing for us, is that, any post that wasn't including Hernandez wasn't all about Hernandez. It's going to be met with a lot of angry emojis, which is fair enough. That's their opinion. It's a team game, and at the moment, we're a winning team. Yes, West Ham are a winning team. How nice does that sound? And for me, we don't change the system. What worked for us last game continues the next game, unless it's a completely different squad. And many people will say that Aston Villa is a completely different kettle of fish, but for the moment, I think we should keep it as we are. Ben Rama will get his chance. We are going to have more injuries. This is West Ham. We don't go to free for a whole season, so he will get his chance at some point. And when he does, I'm sure he'll take it like he did against Fulham. Okay, he calls the penalty, but he still set up the goal. Swings and roundabouts. Lanzini's also improving, so I'm sure he'll get his chance. And I think Fornals, for me, very hard worker. He's not putting in terrible performances, but he does need to improve on his decision making in the final third. I've lost count this season the amount of times he's had the opportunity to get an assist in the game, and has either bottled it or not made the right decision, and it's starting to affect his game a little bit. It happened with Bowen against Liverpool. He could have been one-on-one with Alisson. Probably would have scored, to be honest. And last week, when Haller had the chance, he would have been one-on-one. And rather than play it through to him, Fornals decided to keep dribbling, and eventually the chance never came. So it's frustrating, but it's a nice frustrating way, because we're still winning. And I've never known West Ham to be like this. it's, you know, we're not playing amazing football, but we're playing effective football. And that's, for me, as a supporter, that's what I want to see from West Ham. I'm not too bothered about this free-flowing attacking football. I'm a minority by thinking that, I know that. But for me personally, it has to be effective rather than just, you know, entertaining. And Villa is a completely different kettle of fish for me. I've got respect for Villa in the fact that, you know, the manager is Villa through and through. But he's also identified their weaknesses from last season and he's improved on that, as you can see, because Watkins is a great player. Jack Grealish is reaching another level this season. Barkley's just gone, he's on absolute fire for them. And he's improved in areas that they needed to improve in. And I think any fan that has a manager like that, you know, I know has passion for the club, but also has a bit of up there when you need it, especially in the transfer window, which is exactly like Moyes has done with us, with getting Kufal, who's been a really good signing for us as well. It has to be respected. It'd be a really interesting game. I can see Aston Villa playing a bit more football than Sheffield United did, and to a level Fulham as well, even though I think they played quite well against us, to be fair. But I'm interested to see how we cope, because after the top 8 teams, you know, when they finished last season, we played Fulham and Sheffield United, both teams desperate for points. Villa are obviously going to want points, but they're not going to be in the same position. So it'll be very, very interesting to see how we combat that. I think it'll be another backs to the walls job with us looking to go on a counter, but Villa might look to do that to us themselves. So, like I said, this is a different kettle of fish. They've got momentum, Villa. They'll be on it. You know, they've got a very good goalkeeper as well with Martinez, who a lot of Arsenal fans I've spoken to said that he should be Arsenal number 1 instead of Leno, and they're a bit gutted that he's gone to Villa. So it'll be a test. It'll be another test which we have to meet, and I'm personally confident. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to West Ham and another positive performance for us. And I reckon VAR might have something to say about this. It seems like we've got away from that a little bit recently, apart from obviously the Liverpool game. But for me, that was a foul anyway, so it's just made a meal of it. But yeah, sorry. But yeah, for me, it'll be an interesting game. We're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to keep this momentum going. 3 wins in a row. And I think we'll keep the same squad as it is. Possibly Antonio on the bench. We'll see. But come on, your eyes.
Hi everyone, this is Chebby from Villains Together, and I'm going to be previewing the West Ham versus Villa fixture on Monday night, 4 poles apart. So, looking forward to it on Monday, to be honest. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a tough fixture. I think we all know sort of the start West Ham have had this season. Villa, sort of both neck and neck, albeit sort of we've played a game less. But it's going to be a good game. I think there's going to be quite a few goals. 2 teams that like to go and play football. But just want to start off with, and I think that fixture towards the end of last season, it finished 1-1, of course, a point that ultimately kept us up in the league. But, you know, good to see Villa and West Ham both towards that right end of the table, I suppose. But nevertheless, you know, I think it's going to be a good game. Lots of open play, and hopefully we'll see a few goals as well. In regards to us, I mean, our recent form hasn't been, well, it's been a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde, to be honest. I mean, we've gone and smashed Liverpool 7-2 at home this season, beat Arsenal away 3-0, you know, beat Leicester away 1-0. And then, of course, we lost to Leeds, Southampton, and most recently, Brighton at home. I mean, with the Leeds game, I think, you know, we lost the Leeds game. It was sort of a bit of a, I mean, I wouldn't say a new style, but it was Bielsa's style of play. It's come to the Premier League, high intensity, etc. So kind of hit us with a surprise, I'd say. A Southampton game, I mean, we found ourselves 4-0 down. I think it was just after half time. I mean, a bit of a malfunction there. 4-3 in the end, which I suppose wasn't a true reflection on the game. Second half, it was all Villa. And, you know, had we been playing for another 5 or 10 minutes, we probably would have won that game. So that was quite disappointing. And then most recently, of course, Brighton. I mean, the Leeds game, we put that down to sort of a new team in the league, full of energy. Southampton at the time were in quite sort of good form, to be honest. I think they briefly went at the top as well for a couple of hours. But then the Brighton game, I think, to be honest, it was quite disappointing. In terms of chances created, you know, the way we played, it was all exactly the same. Had quite a few shot on goals. Just simply never had our scoring boots on, you know. I said it on our podcast the other day. Could have easily put 7 past them, you know, like we did against Liverpool. But yeah, it was a tough game. I'm hoping now we bounce back. I'm glad we're playing away from home, first of all. At home, I mean, like I said, last 3 fixtures at home we've lost. And away from home, in fact, we've yet to concede a goal. So we haven't even lost a game. So going to be a good game. I did, in fact, predict a bit of a draw, to be honest. I mean, we haven't drawn a game this season. And like I said, it's going to be 2 teams that I think are going to go out attacking. So fingers crossed we get the win, but I think it's going to be a draw, to be honest. My opinion, anyway. A couple of key battles, I think. There's going to be quite a few, to be honest. Just going to that centre of the pitch, where I think that's going to be the key battle, isn't it? I mean, we're, of course, missing Barkley at the moment. Massive player for us, and it was a big loss, as it showed against Brighton. Quite surprising. I mean, I'm sort of going to go over to the lineups in a second, or predicted lineups. But Barkley came off injured. I mean, we replaced him with Traore, which was a bit of a... I mean, I don't think any Villa fan was expecting Traore to come on at that point. It would have been probably a straight swap for Conor Hourihane. But, you know, nevertheless, let's go into Monday night's team lineups then. In terms of us, I think it's going to be more or less the same lineup. We'll have Martinez in goals, who's been brilliant for us. 4 clean sheets, saved a penalty on his debut. And, you know, like I said, away from home, yet to concede a goal. We've won 3-0 at Arsenal, 3-0 at Fulham, 1-0 at Leicester. So, yet to concede. As for the back 4, I think it's going to be the usual back 4. Matty Cash at right back, with Mings and Conse in the centre, and Target at left back. In the middle, we'll have Douglas holding it, Douglas Luiz, and I reckon we'll see Conor Hourihane start on Monday night. I think Traore came in against Brighton. He just came into a bit of a funny position, to be honest. He came onto the pitch, kind of slotted in behind Watkins, and I didn't think anybody knew what really was going on. So hopefully tomorrow we see Hourihane, sort of more or less a direct replacement for Barkley, isn't he? So hopefully he comes in, and it's going to be a tough game, you know, just, well, going back to them battles in a second, but just to finish off that lineup then, Hourihane, McGinn and Douglas in the centre, with Jack on the left, Trez on the right, and Watkins up front. So it's going to be a good game. I'm hoping we get a win. Like I said, my heart's saying it's going to be a draw. But I would say I'm hoping for a win, to be honest. But just going back to some of them key battles then, I think in the middle is where that game's going to be decided, to be honest. We've got Declan Rice, of course, England international. And we were speaking to the Bain Hammers group, in fact, on Thursday night. And, you know, we were saying that he does one sort of that goes under that, I wouldn't say under the radar, but, you know, sort of doesn't get the plaudits that he deserves, you know, with him being a central defensive midfielder. But again, we've got Douglas in that position, who's been, you know, nothing short of immense for us, to be honest, since he signed for Man City. So it's going to be a good battle. You've, of course, got Souček, who in fact, I'm a big fan of Souček. He's kind of Moyes' new Fellaini, isn't he? But it's going to be a good game. We've, of course, got Hourihane in there. I think in terms of that midfield battle, I've just got a funny feeling West Ham may come out slightly on top. I think Barkley is just a massive miss for us. It's his physical presence. It's just that name, isn't it, when you see it on the team sheet, Ross Barkley. So it's going to be a tough game. My heart's saying it's going to be a draw. I would love to have a win. But either way, I think what we are going to see is some good football on show. Nothing like, I mean, what we had against Brighton. Brighton literally came, sat behind the ball for sort of 90 minutes and just picked us out. And, you know, you've got to give them credit for that, I suppose. They came with a game plan, they stuck to it, and ultimately got their 3 points. But hopefully we see a bit more football on show. I think it's going to be tough. You know, you guys have got a good team. You've got Fabianski in goals, who we do like as a keeper, done well at Arsenal. And even in your defence, people like Ogbonna, Musaku, you've got in the middle Declan Rice, Souček, and not to mention some of them flair players up front. You know, people like Jared Bowen, Benrahma, who can't even get into the team. You've got Lanzini, who's been a bit of a bit part player. So it's going to be a tough game. Certainly not one that I'm looking at in terms of, yeah, it's an easy fixture, we're going to get 3 points. Two teams that I think were in a slightly false position last season. And this season, we're sort of proving it, aren't we? That, I mean, albeit slightly early, but, you know, we're up there, 6th or 7th, where we should be. But fingers crossed, I'm hoping for a Villa win, rather, and hopefully we get the 3 points and bring them back to Villa Park. If you do want to follow us, we are Villains Together on Twitter and both Instagram, so Villains Together. We do have a podcast. In fact, every Friday night we had the Bane Hammers on this week for previewing the West Ham game. So if you have got a bit of time, check us out on Twitter, Villains Together, and on Instagram, Villains Together. Cheers, everyone. I would say all the best for Monday, but I'm not, but all the best for beyond that. Cheers, lads. See you later. Bye-bye.
For West Ham fans everywhere, this is the ultimate football app for you. Never miss a thing with the latest West Ham news, gossip and social stories as they break. Download the free COY Irons app now from the App Store and Google Play.